Hey, how's it going there? This is Rob with RoHa Brewing, and I'm sitting here with,
Karsen, I'm the head brewer.
and we're going to be drinking some beer today, and we wanted to talk to you about it and sort of explain a little bit about it and the flavors that we're getting from it and things like that. So, the beer we picked today is called FRESHIES Wet Hop, and I'll let Karsen talk a little bit about what went in to make this beer, and then we can sort of dissect it the way we would when we're tasting it in the back or whatever.
So this is our wet hop session IPA. It's a lighter style IPA that's brewed with fresh hops. So they from the farm to us in 24 hours, and we brew with them that day. It's kind of a unique beer. You can only do it once a year during harvest season, normally end of August, beginning of September, which is why we're here in October drinking it.
Yeah, so these hops came out of Oregon from Crosby Farms, and it's Amarillo hops.
It is all Amarillo hops.
So they go in as cones, full cones, which is pretty cool. We bought like 60 pounds of them that go in, which is way more than you'd normally use in a beer. But because it's a wet hop, they're fresh off the farm, not compacted, not dried, not kilned, not pelletized or any of that. So the extraction's a little bit lower, but it imparts a pretty unique flavor. So like Karsen said, it's a pretty light build. So when we're tasting this beer, we'd probably first start looking at the color or the head retention.
Clarity on this one because we want it to be clear. It's not a hazy IPA.
Yeah, so it pours nice and clear. You can see us through the beer. It drinks nice and fresh that way too. So for me, I get like a good nose of that wet hop flavor, which is a little bit grassier.
Gonna have a little bit more herbal qualities to it over like the big punchy bitterness.
Yeah, you're less likely to probably get like citrus or real strong pine aromas out of it because the wet hop, just the lower extraction.
Yeah. So it has some citrus just because Amarillo as a hop generally imparts some pretty strong citrus flavors. But like Rob said, it's a lot of that kind of grassy, just like a lighter hop profile than you would get with a normal IPA.
Yeah, let's talk about head retention. So lacing, a lot of people look at the lacing on the glass and they say like the perfect pint is 8 drinks of beer or something like that, where you have 8 distinct lines. Do you ever drink that way?
Sometimes it's just one drink for the whole. Like, depends on the time of day.
You put your whole mouth over the pint. You seen that trick?
I can't do it.
I can't do it either. And
I thought you were going to follow that up with watch.
That would be cool though.
Have you ever seen
Watch
this trick?
someone else do it on YouTube.
Yeah. Watch the rest of the internet.
No, but this has, to me, pretty good lacing on the glass, pretty good head retention, which I like to see. As that CO2 comes out, that aroma keeps coming up through the beer, which is what I like about a beer. As you drink a whole pint, that aroma continues to come out, and so the beer will even change as it warms up and blows off CO2. So,
and we're sitting in the sun, that could change it. So we got to drink these pretty fast.
we gotta drink it real fast. But yeah, I think that's a pretty nice beer, and it's so cool that you can get fresh hops.
Yeah.
Once a year, even though we're in Utah, there's not a lot growing around us. But you can get them shipped in overnight, and it's just a unique way to make beer. We don't get to really pick when we make the beer. They tell us when the harvest is, and we know within 24 hours we'll have hops sitting at the back door, and hopefully the timing works out and we made beer and the hops arrive. And
yeah, we had a 3-day block for this beer set aside because we knew it was around when they were going to arrive. So we kind of had 3 days of possible brew days, and then we got the email that they were on the way, and we were scheduled to brew the next day.
So one question that maybe if somebody actually brews beer that's watching this is like how you would make this if you were a home brewer, or how we make it here. I was a long time home brewer, and so for me, like normally my hops were like this many, And I know wet hops are flowers, and so it's like this many. How do you put that in your kettle?
So with this one, we actually used our mash tun as essentially a hop back. So we finished the brew, and before we did our whirlpool to get the solids condensed, we push about half of that the hot sugar water back onto all these hops and kind of let them soak for about 5 or 10 minutes. So they didn't go into the boil necessarily, but it was a hot side addition because hops aren't processed and aren't kilned and have the possibility of bacteria, so you need to put something to kill any living organism, and hot wort does a great job of that.
So we keep it above 180 degrees or whatever. You pump it over, mix it up with those hops, try and extract that character, that aroma from the hops, and then you pull it back in.
Push it back and then just continue as normal.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool way to do it, because normally our hops are like in the pounds.
Yeah.
And it's okay to measure them that way. It's like a small bucket or
we just
whatever.
boxes into the mash tun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we've been trying to do a lot more of these unique kind of one-off beers here at the tap room. Karsen and I are going to try and talk about them and taste them and tell you about them. And so
look at them and make stupid jokes.
Well, I don't know about that. So stay tuned and come back next time we have a new beer. Cheers.
Come try it at the tasting room.